heavily on the medical system. Spectrum News 13's Will Robinson Smith got an exclusive look inside the pandemic and is weighing on how it's weighing on respiratory therapists and their plea to the community.
Respiratory therapist Wesley Colson says they had to put on a brave face every day he and his colleagues go into the ICU, even knowing that the odds are not good for many of his patients. He says it's especially hard to look into the eyes of those who are unvaccinated and also full of regret. Behind this glass is what many in the healthcare community would still describe as a war zone. Each day at work, Wesley Colson, a respiratory therapist, puts on his armor to battle this invisible enemy.
Hey, Bubba. Good morning again.
Working to save his patients.
We focus on just trying to get back to where we were yesterday. Okay?
Even with cases like that of Dwayne Sparks, who asked not to be intubated.
I'm just searching and horse coming off the ventilator anyway. Once you get to that point,
each day, Colson and the team do their best to try to make each patient do just a little bit better than the day before.
You are my healthiest patient, and I want to try to keep you that way.
Yeah.
Which can be difficult because by the time a patient reaches the ICU, like here at Rockledge Regional Medical Center, things are not good, and the patients know that.
Is this the way this goes? Where you feel good?
Yeah.
A little bit. And then you get winded and scared.
Yep.
Next.
It is.
The day starts early for Colson at 6:30 before the sun is even up. He's been with Rockledge Regional Medical Center for 9 years, starting first as an anesthesia tech. He got his degree as a respiratory therapist in the middle of the pandemic so that he could help patients more directly.
The amount of days we're all working, we take care of the same patients a lot of times, day by day, and I'm anxious to see how they're doing.
The challenges of the pandemic can feel relentless to someone like Colson. But he says, as this process has worn on,
Come on in, girl.
it's helped pull the hospital staff even closer together.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that.
Which is important because even though the overall hospital numbers across the state are going down, inside these walls, COVID still feels just as relentless. As of Friday, 25% of all of Rockledge Regional Medical Center were COVID patients, and up here in the ICU, it was 60%. Notes on the walls help them quickly know how a patient is doing, as Katiuska Malorino helps bring Colson up to speed at the start of his shift. Going into each room means putting on a fresh new set of PPE, a gown, a double mask, the gloves, which brings us back to patients like Dwayne Sparks. And even though Mr. Sparks is unvaccinated and asked not to be intubated or resuscitated, Colson says they still give it their all every day.
You become personal with them, they become friends, and more than just a patient too. Like I told you out in the parking lot, you look forward to getting in here. Whenever I mentioned that, this is who I was thinking about. I couldn't say how you were doing this morning.
But it's hard. Really hard, Colson says, some days. As he comes in to do some blood analysis, he reflects on the fact that they've already lost a patient today. Last month alone, they dealt with just under 60 deaths in this ICU, which means it's crucial that they use all the tools at their disposal.
For as long as we're taking care of them, it's all about time and getting to recovery. And part of that is running constant blood gases to find out, how well they're oxygenating and ventilating. And to keep up with that many patients is fairly difficult.
And with there being really no clear end in sight for this pandemic, Colson and his colleagues are pleading with the public to help them.
We're doing everything that we can here. I mean, every nurse, every doctor, every therapist that you see is doing everything that they can here for every patient. And what we're asking is for the community to do the same. Get vaccinated, wear your mask, and just do what's right for you, for your own health.
While the pandemic continues to rage on, Colson and his colleagues will continue to do what they've always done. Don their PPE and make sure they're protecting themselves from the virus, continue to spread good information about vaccinations and testing, and then go back into battle to try to save the next patient. As of Monday, 217 people across Brevard County were hospitalized with COVID-19. 203 of them were either unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated. In the newsroom, Will Robinson Smith, Spectrum News 13.